What's up, Permian Basin? Welcome back to another episode of Workforce Table Talk, where we keep the Permian Basin in the know. For those of you who don't know, my name is Valerie Lotito.
And my name is Diana Mesa, and today we have a special guest. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Deborah Thiesfield, and I'm the principal of the Richard Milburn Academy in Midland.
Welcome, Deborah.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And today we are going to be talking about subsidized work experience and how we have partnered together and give those participants the idea of working in a career-based job. We cover some of the wages and go into detail as to how this will benefit them in the future.
So I became acquainted with this program through the Workforce Commission during the school year last year in the fall. And as soon as one of the people from the workforce approached me with the possibility of having, for me, a volunteer on campus to help out in different areas and somebody that would be interested in working in a school, I was very excited for that opportunity to have somebody to help out in that way and also to help us. I mean, that was kind of a no-brainer. And so we got the ball rolling very quickly. The process was super easy to get my volunteer, I guess you guys don't call them a volunteer.
We call him a participant.
A participant, yeah. There you go. So the participant, it was very easy to get the ball rolling, the paperwork to get done. And so within no time, our participant was able to come in and get started with us. And I think everybody on campus, all of the teachers, the office staff, everybody was very excited to have someone coming in that we could include as even one of our mentors, you know, that's being a high school campus. That's part of what we base ourselves around, is making sure that our students are workforce ready and that they're ready when they leave us to go on and do something that they're excited about doing. And so it was a very unique opportunity to be able to provide that for somebody that wasn't one of our students. And it was really just a win for everybody all the way around. Our participant came in just already amazing, a brilliant young lady, lots of personality, very intelligent, very willing to pick up and just, rock and roll with whatever we asked her to do. She had indicated an interest in really mainly helping out with clerical type work. And so we had her work some at our front desk in a receptionist type position. And then the other part of the day, we would have her working directly with our registrar and our counselor, helping with just different paperwork or filing or whatever extra areas they needed an extra hand in. And over her time that she's been on campus, she's really become part of our work family. And really we have just loved having her there, and to know that, that she benefited from the experience and that we also benefited from her being there. And, that was thanks to this program that I knew nothing about until, when somebody from the Workforce Commission approached me with it. And so it's been a really phenomenal experience.
That's great. And that's the whole reason why we're doing these kinds of things, to get the word out and let other people know about that. And you mentioned at the beginning of when you started talking, your volunteer. And the cool thing about that is not only are these students getting the work experience, but we're able to help with some or all of those wages for them, to be able to actually let them see what it's like to work and make money off of that and be learning those skills. So that's really cool. So how would you say that it's helped you to have her there, as far as just getting things done, making things easier maybe?
Exactly. Well, and I think, anybody, especially right now, as difficult as times are, all businesses are looking at the bottom line. And everybody's looking at how can we be the most efficient at getting things done with spending the least amount of money to do it. And obviously in a school, that's a huge thing. And so the timing of this was really perfect because, we had to cut back a position so that our administrative secretary, our receptionist, was only able to be at work part-time. And so even though I did not have an open position to be able to offer to someone,
Right.
I had a need there to fulfill.
Yes. Right.
And so that's where the relationship was just very beneficial to both sides, because the participant coming in was filling that need for us, and at the same time we were fulfilling that need for her to become familiar with those aspects of being out in the workforce and learning the skills that she learned while she was with us.
So it's been helpful to her in learning those skills and just being in that environment.
Right.
Like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and a good point also to mention is with this program, we want to be in addition, not replace any current employees. That way, if like in your case, you had a need, so we were able to plug that in versus having them feel like, we're replacing someone. So this is just a huge point also to talk about.
Added bonuses to having that assistance. Yeah.
Yes. And some of the criteria that we also want to be very specific about is the youth that we are assisting. So the qualifications for us in our program are being pregnant, parenting youth, an ex-offender, school dropout, homeless, mental or physical disability. So any of those barriers that they might be able to or qualify under, we help them. And I think you also mentioned, helping with that as well, or being flexible, correct?
That's exactly right. The participant that we had coming in had some needs to be off work on occasion, and actually is now a young mom. And so she, as she went through that process, we got to give her a baby shower, and every once in a while we get to have the baby come to work with mom, and so we all love that. But of course, as a young mom, with an infant, there are times that she has to be off work, and she needs to go do doctor's appointments and things like that. And so, that's something that is very easy for us to work around. Again, because we're not replacing anyone, it's an addition to what we would have had anyway.
Right.
And so for us to be able to be very flexible with any participant's needs, if they need to work certain hours or come in and then leave and then come back in, those things are very easy to work with, because it's just filling.
They can cover each other.
Exactly. And it's just in addition to what we were already working with.
Right.
And so that it's very easy to work with those participants in that way.
And I think it gives the participant also the ability to communicate that with you through their case manager, because I think we give them the means to know how to approach it, not to be afraid, and not assume that not everybody might work with them. So I think this, seeing that, there are employers that are willing to work with them, and having this approach first gives them that, that feedback like, hey, I might be able to do this. So
I think that's exactly right. And that's one thing that I found with the participant that I had, is that she had, her person at the Workforce Commission that she was working with, as far as to report back to, and to be a case manager, to be able to bounce things off of, or just to make sure that things were going well. And that was a great point of contact for me. But also I saw that was a great point of support for her as she navigated being in this professional world, at such a young age.
Yeah, that case manager is going to be the person who can counsel the youth if you need her to as well, or vice versa. If there's an issue at the job site, the youth can talk to us, the participant, and that way we can kind of have a middleman there and mediate whatever issues come up. But of course, if these things can be resolved at the work site, awesome. But at least they have another support person to be able to go to.
Right.
How to approach.
As a a very busy principal on a campus, I don't have time to micromanage and that kind of thing. And so for me, having somebody come in, and this was the first time I had participated in this program, and it was not knowing the participant before she came in. I did not know what to expect or what I was going to get or if there were going to be problems. And so not knowing that, it was a comfort to me to know that, okay, I'm going to have somebody on my campus who's going to be here, helping out, and we're going to help her. But if there are issues that cannot be resolved, there's support there for that. And it wasn't just going to be, okay, now I'm just kind of on my own,
right,
dealing with whatever's going to come up.
Right,
and so, I was very pleased. Nothing did. Like I said, this young lady is just phenomenal in every way.
That's great.
But again, going into it new, not knowing that was a comfort for me.
Yeah.
To know that case manager was going to be there to be that point of contact.
Right. Yeah, and we are enrolling. I mean, we are looking for any youth that are available that are willing to take advantage of these opportunities that are being provided. And as Diana said, there's a lot of criteria. If you meet any of those criteria, then you can contact us and see if we can get you in the program. So again, let's just run through some of them. Pregnant or parenting youth, ex-offender, homeless, high school dropout, foster youth, any language barriers or an improvement in education, and mental and physical disabilities, things like that. So definitely, if you know anybody or if you are, please contact us.
And also just income-based as well. So we also will go, that will be another thing that we'll look into, would be our income-based. But either way, it doesn't hurt to give us a call and see how we can we have plenty of space for our youth right now, so we're really heavily promoting it.
Right.
And we already went to her school actually and presented. So that was super exciting to do. And also, again, thank you for letting us participate in that, because we're looking forward to talking more to some of those students.
Absolutely. They were very excited yesterday, the students, to have you guys on campus. And what was kind of funny about it, we did not let the students know that our participant was somebody who was their age.
Oh. Okay.
And so some of the students had questions, after y'all left, and some I don't know if I can do that. And so I said, okay, so, the young lady that's been up front helping us out. Oh, yeah. Well, she's one of their participants. What? Oh. And so then when I talk about, okay, so, she's almost through the program, and so she's going to be, moving on now to something different. And so think about what she has to put on her resume.
Right.
I mean, what young lady her age is going to be able to put on her resume experience working in a school office and with a registrar, with a school counselor, and, all the experiences that she participated in while she was on campus.
Absolutely.
And so this particular young lady that I was talking to yesterday, who wasn't sure, if she was, really going to, benefit from something like this, when I told her that, I said, think about it. I said, if you at your age going in to fill out an application for this position versus this other young lady who had this experience, I said, whose resume is going to look better?
Yeah.
And
Right.
she said, oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And so she's very excited now to see about getting connected with you guys.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah, and then also employers, if there's any employers in the Permian Basin that are willing to house these participants and give them that work experience and have the benefits that Ms. Deborah's talking about, having a youth come in to where we can pay their wages and just supplement your already existing team and get them that work experience to learn the job, the industry, whatever it may be. We are looking for work sites. So if you or anybody else who might be interested in taking part in that, we are looking for employers, and we do want you to contact us as well. You would contact us at our phone number, 432-287-5200, or you can email us at PB, as in Permian Basin, BSU, as in Business Services Unit, at workforcepb.org, and we'll put that link below as well.
Yes, and I would just like to add to that, the thing that people say about West Texans all the time is, how big their hearts are. And I have heard so many business people out here in the Permian Basin that want to support our youth. They want to be active and involved. They want to ensure that the businesses around, want to ensure that the people that they have coming in come in with some work skills, right? How to look somebody in the eye and shake the hand, how to answer the phone, how do I not stay on my phone all day, those kinds of things. And it's not always easy to find a tangible way to mentor and to serve the youth of our community in a way that's meaningful, but at the same time doesn't take away from you financially or a great deal of time. Right. And this is such a wonderful opportunity because you have that opportunity as a member of this community to build the community and to build that next generation of workforce.
Right.
But you're not having to pay for it, and you're not having to spend any extra time. You're doing the things you already would have been doing.
I'm so glad that you brought that up because that's our mission. Our mission is investing in the future through jobs and training. So we are putting this into our youth to grow our own strong workforce for the future, for the Permian Basin. And that's key. That's so important. So I'm glad you brought that up because it's very important. And, we just want to make sure that we're doing our part with what we can. We have the resources to be able to help our Permian Basin youth and give them those skills. So, thank you so much for saying that too.
Absolutely.
You did touch on some of the things that you taught them kind of through the experience, but tell me a little bit more about the key elements that maybe were essential for her to learn and, kind of go from there.
So, again, and I know I've said this before, but this young lady came in with so much confidence already. And so there were things that I had her do that I probably don't know that normally she would have had to grow into. So for instance, she was ready to greet people at the front desk as soon as the second or third day to answer the phones and to be able to answer in a professional manner. So some of the things we worked on from that point was, when to go ahead and send a call through and when was it appropriate to take a message. Whenever people were coming into the building, is this something that we need to pull somebody out of somewhere, or is this something that, who's going to handle what?
Customer service skills.
Exactly. And not only the customer service skills, but just having that confidence of self to be able to speak to an adult
and take that initiative
and be business-like in having those conversations. And then beyond that, we worked with her on, matters of confidentiality. Especially as she was working in the registrar's office and in the counselor's office, whether she was filing paperwork or helping with the notes or that kind of thing. So we made sure that she had that training of, what's okay to share and what's not okay to share, and, when are those things important.
And I think with this job site, it was more like office based, so the customer service, phone etiquette,
Absolutely,
and any general skills like you're mentioning, like the filing and confidentiality. So that's really good points, because I think with every different site, they'll learn, those skills based on that career base.
And it's important that we also talk about the skills that are transferable, that are going to go to any job, like being on time and your attendance and dress attire.
Yes.
Things like
and communicating, how and when to communicate if you're not going to be.
Right. Yes. Timely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think this prepares, that individual to the same career or anything else, but also just learning that general etiquette to know how to approach another individual, because a lot of the times I think that's the most inquired thing is customer service, and customer service is super broad. So this just gives that the confidence to know when. Also the attitude, you might have an upset customer, you might have a happy customer, how to approach it and how to deal with that.
Absolutely. I know we've all had that experience where we're, dealing with, a young person that doesn't know how to speak to you, look you in the eye and speak to you, or while you're waiting for them, they're on their phone. And so the more that we can help this generation of young people, prepare them to be able to go out into the workforce and already have those skills as they go out and they're looking for those positions. That's going to put these young people ahead of the game as they're out, looking for job opportunities beyond their experience with the workforce position.
Yeah, exactly. So fun fact, just for everybody out there, we do have a success story of our own. Miss Valerie, tell us a little bit about your story. I have understood that you did this, right?
I did many years ago. Just a couple. No, actually, yes, I heard about this program, and I just inquired about it, and they were able to, because I was, one of my barriers was that I was a young mother. And so I was able to qualify for this program, and I was placed at a nonprofit organization, and I was able to learn basic job skills, just like you're saying. The things like answering the phone, invoicing. I started learning a little bit more as I was there. I think I was, I hadn't worked in an office at that time yet in my life. I was still very young. So I learned a lot of skills there, and it was just, it made me feel important. It made me feel special, to have that kind of job at such a young age. And, when that assignment ended, because I learned so much there, I was in touch with my case manager here, and she was looking for another placement for me. And at that time, they had heard such great feedback from my supervisor at that work site, just like the way you're talking about your youth. They had heard such great feedback about my work, and my case manager requested to place me here. And, I haven't left. It's coming up on 16 years later that I've been here, and I've done a lot of different things even at this job. I've had all kinds of positions from the front desk, our resource room. I've worked in the accounting department. I've worked in payroll, and now I do HR. I've also done facilitating with orientation. So I've learned so many skills leading up to this job, and then in this job once I got here. So, it's been quite an experience, and I'm so grateful for that because, this program really just set it all up for me, and yeah, I feel successful in my position in my career here. So it's really cool, and it makes me happy when I hear you talking about your participant that way, because I'm thinking back to my own experiences. So it's nice to hear.
Well, that's really nice. Yeah. And we're really looking forward to having more success stories like that, whether it's one of our own here at Workforce, whether it be at Richard Milburn, anywhere, any other employer that would like to participate. Evidently, it works. You get good outcome of this. Yeah. So I'll leave it off to also talking a little bit about any updates with your school, social medias, links, or anything that you would like to talk about.
So sure. So I am from the Richard Milburn Academy in Midland. There is also a Richard Milburn in Odessa. Both schools are enrolling right now. We are offering online learning for those students who do not feel safe going into campuses yet. But we also are offering face-to-face learning. And so for those of you who are not familiar very much with Richard Milburn, it's a dropout and credit recovery program. And so we do have older students. We have some students who are 20, 21. They've come back to school after dropping out. But we're also open enrollment. And so that means that we can take brand new high school, ninth grade, coming in. And we do get quite a few, especially sometimes parents don't want their kids going to the big, huge, humongous schools. And it's a little scary. Or, students who have a little bit of social anxiety, sometimes the smaller campus is a little more comfortable for them. And so, we have just a wide variety of students and opportunities for those students. Our students go to school half day, and
That's
so
nice.
They get to work the other half of the day.
Good.
And so, again, that's, this was a great partnership for us to form with you guys. You can call either of the Richard Milburn Academies in Midland or Odessa for more enrollment information. You can also go to Richard Milburn, I'm sorry, that's not right. You can go to rmaschools.org, and there will be information on enrolling. You can enroll online or go to campus. From there, you can also access social media, Facebook and Twitter. The Richard Milburn here in Odessa, as well as the one in Midland, where I'm from, we also have our own Facebook and Twitter pages, and those are at RMA Schools or RMA Odessa or RMA Midland.
Okay.
So we'd love to have some of you guys follow us and see what's going on and watch for our updates.
Awesome.
Yeah, and just to add to that, we also want to talk about our Facebook page. So if you haven't already gone to like our Facebook page, please go do that. We will keep things up on our page, like updates from Texas Workforce Commission, any updates that we have, any partnerships that we're doing, we'll be posting those as well. We also post some little fun things, either from
Events.
events, things from our staff, just to keep that feed alive. So just come check it out. We're still trying to meet our goal with getting some likes. So please come check us out. And
We'll link everything down below.
Yes.
And as always, we do end our podcast with a quote, and we always give you the honors. So I'll let you go.
So I ran across a quote yesterday. I was listening to a podcast put out by Principal Baruti Kafele, and he does an aspiring principals workshop. And so there was a quote that he had in that just spoke to me. A setback is a setup or a comeback. And that is by author Willie Jolly, and he has a book by the same title. And
cool.
It is. It just spoke to me on so many levels, just all of the things that were going on right now in our society, with health, with politics, with just life in general. And so I thought that was just a very powerful quote.
Yes.
And I immediately wrote it down and put it out on our school's social media page. And I shared it with other principals and with my campus and put it up on my board at work.
Yes.
And so,
that worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I'm
it
glad to
did.
be able to share that.
Yes, thank you for sharing it.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We really, truly appreciate your time and all of this great information that you gave us and your feedback.
And your partnership in this
Thanks.
program. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to continued partnership. I know we have some, looking forward to our next participants coming in.
Awesome. Yeah, so you have some more lined up already, right?
Yes, I do.
That's great. We're so excited about that.
I am as well.
All right. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if you didn't know before, now you know.